Hey guys, Craig here, product manager at Broker Engine. I wanted to run you through how I managed task management in my practice. And so in my practice, we have a range of a few brokers and a few team members primarily based in Manila. And I wanted to show you how we sort of manage that and how we work as a group to ensure that, the team members in Manila are only working on things they need to be working on. And, when there is sort of a lot more work than they can handle, how we sort of manage that as a group so brokers' expectations are met. And the first thing we implemented a little while ago was a weekly message on Teams or Skype or Slack, whatever you might use. But what the process we implemented was when a broker starts in the morning or last thing at night, they would update the team in a group Slack message or a group Teams message to say, hey, I've checked my task list. Everything there needs to be done. And the purpose of that is to ensure that the team, my processing team, are not making calls to lenders or clients that don't need to be made. So, for example, if there's a follow-up here to why hasn't settlement booked yet, or why haven't got formal approval yet, perhaps I spoke to the lender as a broker. Perhaps I spoke to a lender yesterday evening and I forgot to update the task list. So, what I would do as a broker every morning is I'll jump into my task list and I'll just scan it and just make sure there's nothing in that task list that the team don't need to do, and I'll then move it on and move it out. And what we then do is every broker's then just got to update the dashboard, update in the Teams, in our case in Teams. You might use Skype or something else. But you can see that I've just said, hi team, CV updated. I'd love some reviews today if possible. You can see one of my brokers, Justin, has done the same thing. And again, he's just giving some expectation around, look, that lodgement today, tomorrow is great. But sometimes it would be, hey, that one's really urgent. And I'd go, well, okay, put mine behind Justin's, but maybe above Michael's or something like that. And then the second thing we did, the first thing there is that ensures that the team in Manila are only going to be working on tasks that need to be worked on. The second thing that we implemented was that John's my team leader in Manila, and he just gives a morning update of the tasks and lodgements that are due that day. Now, obviously, lodgement is one of the biggest tasks. So when there are lots and lots of lodgements, that would allow us as a broker group to then sort of work out, what priority. Another message we had recently was, here's the update and a team member is away today. So it just ensures that, the brokers are updated about the capacity of the team and so we can sort of make adjustments around whose lodgements get done first and things like that. So that works really well. Two things there. One, the broker checks their task list to make sure there's nothing in there the team don't need to be doing. And secondly, the team lead or the team leader of processing if it's got one processor, is updating you as a broker about their overall sort of task list and capacity for that day. Second thing I want to show you is how we manage multiple processing team members in my practice. So I've got a few processors and obviously a few brokers as well. And our processors are cross-trained. So they do all tasks, basically. It's very rare that they do all tasks, is the long and the short of it. And so what would happen is all the tasks go into our task list or queue, and it's basically a big bucket of work. And the team in Manila just take the next item off the rank. So we don't sort of have this task assigned to this person, this one to that person, and someone's away so it doesn't get done. They literally just jump in the morning, and in this case, let's say I'm John Smith and I'm the processor. They literally jump in the morning and they would go, okay, the next task here is a task to do a formal approval checklist for Suncorp. Great. I'll assign, it's a call to Suncorp. So I'm going to do all of the tasks for Suncorp. So what I'll do is I'll assign those tasks to me, John Smith, and now everyone else knows, including other processors and brokers, that John Smith is now working on those tasks. And John Smith can also, as a processor, record his time on that as well. So we're integrated with Toggle. So now you can sort of track your time and using Toggle integration. So what would happen is John Smith would jump in and he would now call Suncorp. So he would now call Suncorp. The interesting thing here is that the broker, or the team member rather, does not need to leave the task list. All the lender details are here, including the phone number, lender reference number, broker code. If it's a secret question, it'll be here as well. And what John can do is he can call up and go, he can use a note template if he likes. Called lender. I use a bit of a template from my team, so I like to get my notes in a structure so that I'm not getting, 2 paragraphs of war and peace. It's called lender, who they spoke with, what they confirmed. We have some training around if there's a finance date or settlement date due in the next day or two, they'll note that to the lender and escalate it automatically. And importantly, the most important thing from my team is they have to tell me what their next follow-up is. It's all very well for them to say, I called up, I confirmed that docs will be issued tomorrow or something like that. But they've got to say, I've set the task due date to tomorrow or the next day to follow up. That gives me comfort because I get that note by email. That gives me comfort that the team have this. I can update the client if I want to, but the team have this. They've checked it. They're going to follow up on it. I don't need to do anything. If they don't give me that follow-up message there, I get really worried that they're not going to follow up and it could get lost. So the team would just jump in there, make that note, click create note, and they can notify the broker if they wish. And then they'll literally put the task out to, Tuesday or something like that and move on to the next task. And the next task would go, okay, the next one is for broker Mary and her broker code is this. And so again, the process repeats. They clear the items, for that lender in one go. And what they can do also, if they need to, is they can quickly open up the deal as well if they need sort of more sort of information to finish that task. So that's more of a broker engine specific thing, but that's how we would sort of manage ensuring that a team member, if you're a broker, sole broker, you're calling up when you call up St. George, you're calling up for all of St. George's deals. And we have a full filter over here. You can save your own filters for different deals. You can filter by who it's assigned to, unassigned, dates due, priority, and things like that. So there's a very powerful filter inside of Broker Engine. The final thing is that this is does accommodate when you do have primary facing, if you've got a PA or something like that who does a lot of the client facing work. So if you do sort of have a system like a lot of brokers do where you've got a pre-settlement team, a post-settlement team, a formal approval to settlement team, we have the option of teams to ensure that we can manage that as well. So if you're not using the bucket list, everything goes in the bucket and the team pull the items out of the list, and if someone's away, it doesn't matter. We also have a structure for when you're using teams, primary facing, different teams at different stages of the deal as well. I'll finish it up there. I hope that's been of help and hope that provides maybe a little bit of a hint for your practice. Craig here, product manager at Broker Engine. If you're interested in the demo, reach out to brokerengine.com.au.